back in the building. We back in the building. Oh man, we got breaking news. You can't make this up, y'all. I told y'all from my old Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez videos I did. I've been saying this for the longest, man. That boy had nothing to do with the accidental shooting that happened to Megan Thee Stallion out there up in the hills where they was partying. Comes to find out, it was breaking news today. You got the lawyers coming out, press conference, and this and that, and now they saying Kelsey, her friend, her DNA never made it to the criminal lab. Where they do that at? And you know what's crazy? They've been saying that when the trial ended. They've been put that out there. They said it was three different type of fingerprints all on a gun. Tory Lanez fingerprints was nowhere on the magazine, bullets, or nothing. Come on, man. I've been saying it. Kelsey was the one let off the shots allegedly, and Tory went over there to break it up. Him and the security guard. Then come to find out, Kelsey, security or driver, whatever you want to call it, he comes out now and say that she was the one that actually shot her own friend. But they put the story on Tory Lanez. Oh, he coming out speaking. That's why it's a press conference and everything. God, I don't know if y'all ain't seen it on the internet, but I'm gonna show y'all. Yeah, the dude was coming out saying that it was Kelsey that did it. Oh, that money went dry. That's what happened. See, when that money go dry, that's what happened. Next thing you know, the truth comes out, man. Everything always comes to the light. Everything that's in the dark come to the light. It's gonna come to the light eventually. And y'all said the innocent man locked up, and it's crazy how he got attacked and all that. Man, we gotta talk about all this, man. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get this show started, man. Yo. If they know, they know. It's your boy Smoke News TV. We back in this building. Smash that thumbs up, that like button. Ain't gonna hurt your feelings. Ain't gonna cost y'all. Make sure y'all keep that bell on so y'all know when I'm dropping my videos, that notification bell. And also share the video. Do me that favor. And if you want to donate to the channel, also, you can Cash App. The donations on the banner. The Cash App's on the banner. You can also donate by the thank button on the channel. Shout out to all my members that got their membership, Team Smoke and Smoke Gang. Shout out to everybody that been supporting the channel. But let's get this show started because we got a lot to talk about. So y'all might as well sit back, light one up, and y'all already know the vibes, man. Copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find that in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here is for educational and entertainment purposes. Again, copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find that in my description on my channel, on this channel. Everything that I speak on over here is for educational, entertainment purpose. The clips and videos I play also owned by the original creators. So we already know about the stabbing that happened to Tory Lanez, right? Comes to find out it was a 42-year-old that's facing life. You know, we all feel like that was a hit. We all feel like it was a hit. Everybody feel that way. But see, then this comes out. Tory Lanez legal team said they would be exposing never before seen evidence concerning his shooting case with Megan Thee Stallion. And when I see this, I'm like, hold up. They got some ring cameras going on. Like I said, this shit happened in the hills. Multi-million-dollar houses, ring cameras all in front of these goddamn people's houses. Cameras in the garages, cameras on the poles, cameras everywhere. What we talking about here? So when that shit happened, I'm like, hold up. You telling me there's no camera to show him to prove that this man actually didn't shoot Megan, or there's no video to show that he actually did shot Megan in the foot? Because there's cameras all over the place. So either way, they was going to show that he didn't, and it was going to show that he did. Either way. So why wasn't no footage or nothing out there? So now his legal team, I think they got footage and they got more evidence. I'm telling y'all, man, I've been saying this shit for the longest, man. Conspiracy. Bodyguard makes new statement. Kelsey shooting a gun and Tory was breaking it up. 2 days later, Tory attacked in prison. What a coincidence. What y'all think? Conspiracy? Y'all think it was just prison politics? What y'all think happened to Tory in there? New evidence in Tory Lanez case. Kelsey Bodyguard comes forward, said Kelsey was the one who shot at Megan. And for all the people that was saying, oh no, Smoke, Tory the one that did it. Tory shot him. Tory, that's. I told y'all Tory didn't do it. I'm not going to tell y'all no BS if I feel like it was BS. That case was straight BS. They didn't have no evidence, no DNA on the gun. They ain't had nada. We're going to go back down memory lane, and we're going to go to the press conference first, what they did today. Because they had nothing. Nada. They didn't even take Kelsey DNA to the criminal lab. Who does that? With like 3 to 4 multi fingers all on the gun. Not on the magazine, not on the bullet in the magazine. The weapon. So when you got fingerprints all on a weapon, what that mean? That mean that somebody probably was trying to hold it, get it away from her. No, get the gun, get away from her. That's what Tory Lanez and the dude was doing, obviously. They was trying to take the gun away from Kelsey. That's what happened, man. I'm telling y'all. Y'all got to remember, Kelsey and Megan been friends for several years before they even met on Tory Lanez. Even though they was going through their little situation, but come on, man, she's still gonna defend her friend at the end of the day, and that's what they did. And I still feel like this shit was planned to boost her career, because I gotta understand when situations like this happen. Let this marinate in your brain and your soul. What I'm about to tell y'all. People love sad stories. I sit back, I'll wait. When that shit happened, wasn't she on a Oprah show? Wasn't she on a couple shows? Live television shows, morning shows, explaining what happened to that, explaining what happened that night with her and Tory. That boosts your credibility up. That boosts your revenue. That boosts your fans up. You try to get every fan to come into. You try to get every fan to feel that sympathy over your story. So if you didn't have these fans on this side, now they're a fan of yours because they feel sorry for your story. That wasn't even goddamn true. I've been saying that shit, man. That shit was to boost her career up, and Rock Nation now gonna push her to the side and say, man, you got to handle this shit on your own. That's what Rock Nation gonna do to Megan Thee Stallion. You think they're gonna fight that case against them? I don't think so. You know why? Because Megan Thee Stallion ain't no Glorilla right now. Megan Thee Stallion ain't popping like a Glorilla, like a Lotto. She ain't one of them top females in the game right now. She ain't bringing that much revenue over there. Nah, man, she is. She got a couple of what song? I sit back and wait. What songs on the radio? Because all I hear is Glorilla and Lotto most of the time. Most of the time it's Glow. Come on, man. They about to crumble a whole little empire that she was trying to build. That shit about to be over because Kelsey's gonna end up snitching on her. All that shit about to fall. All that shit's gonna happen. Chris Brown seen the story till they breaking news. Free Tory. Yeah, free Tory, man. Facts. Come on, you can't make this shit up, bro. But let's start off like this. We're gonna start off with the news that Tory got stabbed and all this, because all this shit is connected. It might not be, but it's just a coincidence how the breaking news come out like a day or two before he got stabbed. Next thing you know, 2 days later, he get poked up. They try to off him. They try to get that man out of here. Don't y'all see the picture? Hold up. Come on, man. Let's stop playing out here, Smooth Gang. Let's stop playing. Let's stop. Bodyguard mentioned statement Kelsey shooting the gun and Tory was breaking it up. 2 days later, Tory attacked in prison with the situation that he's involved in right now. Almost lost his life. You telling me that shit don't match? A lot of people in my comment was like, yo, I think Rock Nation is. A lot of people probably laughing, man. What the hell Rock Nation got to do with that, Smoke? You know what they got to do with that? Because now they got to explain themselves. Now they got to fight the case. Now they got to fight the case that they got new evidence against them and Megan. Rock Nation lawyers was the one that's representing Megan Thee Stallion during the Tory Lanez trial. Allegedly, they was the ones. And we're going to go back memory lane to his father when he was speaking. We're going to go back a little bit memory lane. Those was the lawyers that's representing it. That was the label that she was under, Rock Nation. They help her get out that goddamn situation. Come on, man. Rock Nation looking real. They ain't looking too good over there with this situation going down. And all of a sudden, this boy get poked up 14 times. I don't know. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's continue with this show. Let's get this shit started, man. Y'all already know the vibes.
Has been identified tonight in the prison stabbing of former hip-hop star Tory Lanez. According to the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, Lanez was stabbed by inmate Santino Casio at a housing unit at the California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi. That attack happened early yesterday morning. An Instagram post from Lanez's account says he was stabbed 14 times in that attack, causing both of his lungs to collapse. The post goes on to say he's now breathing normally and is in good spirits. The former rapper was sentenced to 10 years in prison back in 2023 after shooting fellow hip-hop star Megan Thee Stallion at a house party in Los Angeles. Casio was serving a life sentence in prison after being convicted of second-degree murder in 2004.
Let's stop playing. Now let's go down a little history of the guy that poked him up. Let's see who this person is and all this, that, and the third. Yeah, because it's just a coincidence how another culture went and go handle that business. Remember from my last video, they said according to the information Spider Lope got from the inside, they said nobody was around Tory Lanez when the attack happened. But ain't you supposed to protect the bag at all means necessary? That's the bag in there. Tory's the bag. You got to protect that. And I pretty much sure he's under some type of banner and some type of family over there. And I mean, over there, come on, we done seen red flags on Tory, all types of shit. So let's not over here act like he's not part of some type of goddamn family or some banner or something, whatever y'all want to call it. But it's just kind of funny how nobody was around the homie when he got tapped by a whole nother culture. Come on. Think about this. Who put that bag out on Tory? Who wanted that boy out of here? They don't want that nigga home, Rock Nation. Megan Thee Stallion career about to be over. It's already damn near over already. We don't even hear about Megan no more. So when Tory come home, his credibility, his career about to go crazy up. He already got a crazy fan base. Am I lying? I sit back and wait. What you think gonna happen when he come home? Megan Thee Stallion career gonna be garbage, over, career crumbled, done. It's going to look bad on Rock Nation. So what they try to do, allegedly, everything I speak on is alleged. All of a sudden, you get this kid get attacked 14 times and almost lost his life. With the new evidence that's coming out. Yeah, we about to get to that too. Let's find out who this guy is, though.
According to reports, the inmate who was responsible for the attack on Toronto rapper Tory Lanez, which took place on May 12, 2025 at the Tehachapi prison in Tehachapi, California, has officially been released by the California Department of Justice. And according to the California Department of Justice, they believe the suspect is no other than 42-year-old Santino Castillo, who is currently serving a life sentence with the possibility of parole for a second-degree murder charge in which he committed back in 2002 or 2003. Now, according to reports, Santino Castillo has been at the prison where the attack on Tory Lanez took place since 2004, and over the past 21 years since he's been at the prison, he has built a rap sheet for himself, such as back in 2008, he was given 6 more years, which was added to his life sentence for an assault on another inmate, where it is said, just like the attack on Tory Lanez, a homemade prison knife was also involved in this incident. And reports also say he was also given additional 2 years, which was added to his life sentence for possessing and manufacturing of a deadly weapon by an inmate. Now, as for the California Department of Justice, they believe Mr. Castillo is connected to a criminal gang inside the prison, and as of today, they haven't released any information pertaining to the gang he may be linked to, and they also haven't released any information to what they believe led to the attack on Tory Lanez. But according to California's Department of Justice, since learning Mr. Castillo's identity, who they believe is the inmate who attacked rapper Tory Lanez, they have placed him in a separate housing area until their investigation is over.
So the person that attacked on Tory Lanez is a lifer. Crazy rap sheet, all types of crazy shit. They didn't send nobody from the black culture, black gang to attack on Tory, but they sent somebody else from another culture, which is kind of weird. We don't understand it unless there's a race war going on in them prison cells. We don't know. People in my comment was like, yo, there might be a little race war, because that shit does happen out there in Cali. The Mexican mafia is running them prison over there, according to the information and the stories you've been hearing for decades out there in the West Coast. That's why the Crips and Bloods, they get together in prisons so they can collide and try to bang on them essays and shit like that. So who sent that bag? Who sent that bag for them niggas to go poke that man up 14 times? And at the end of the day, who backdoored him? Was it a backdoor? Not saying every homie was down with it, but was it a backdoor situation? Think about that. Let's continue.
How Tory Lanez was allegedly backdoored by his own people in jail. Last night, news broke that Tory Lanez was while walking the yard at the California Correctional Institution. He was 14 times, 7 to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed and was placed under a breathing machine. It was so severe to the point he had to go get treated at a hospital an hour away from the jail. They used a helicopter to get there, which just shows how serious the injury was. Since this is a California prison, it's usually racially segregated. So if another person from another race did it, there would have been reports about a race riot. Y'all think Megan sent that hit?
Allegedly. Allegedly. We don't know now. We ain't not some people like, man, come on, Smoke. Man, ain't send that hit. We ain't saying man send the hit. Don't I always talk about the people in the front and the people in the back end? Them people in the back end, yeah, that part. Those are the ones that represented Meg in the trial and all that, put the money up, you know. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I done said the name plenty of times throughout this video so far. Those are the people those are the people responsible for Meg freedom. Those are the people that are responsible for sending Tory for a 10-year bid. The label that she's under. The lawyers that represented her. Come on, man. And like I said, there wasn't no DNA on the gun, nothing. No type of evidence that Tory Lanez popped this girl all in her so-called foot. Oh, let's go to an old news clip when she's jumping out the car, but she's standing on 2 feet. For somebody to get shot in the foot, whatever, or get grazed in the foot. Come on, man. You ain't gonna react like this. Let's continue.
Rapper Tory Lanez has been charged with shooting artist Megan Thee Stallion during an argument. The DA's office says Lanez, whose legal name is Daystar Peterson, shot Megan's feet during an argument in the Hollywood Hills July 12th. The 28-year-old was arrested the night of the shooting, but was released after posting bail. He now faces 2 felony charges and is set to be arraigned Tuesday in LA. If convicted, he faces up to 23 years in prison.
She didn't get shot in the foot standing like that. Fragrance of bullets or some glass or some shit she stepped on. That's what happened to her foot, y'all. A girl like her gets shot in the foot. She's not going to be able to stand like that and stand on 2 feet. She's going to be screaming in pain. She never got shot before. That shit going to burn the shit out of her goddamn foot. What we talking about? But she's standing on 2 feet and all this and limping. No, fragrance of the bullets or something grazed her. She got grazed by the bullet or she stepped on a piece of glass. That's what happened. I think Kelsey popped off, hit the glass or some shit like that. Boom, when the glass hit the floor, whatever the hell she hit, nigga, that's what the hell Megan Thee Stallion ended up stepping on. If that ain't true, she got grazed in the foot. But it wasn't Tory Lanez, though. Oh, let's get to the press conference now with the new evidence and everything they got now that I've been telling y'all for the last several months there since he's been locked up, saying that the evidence was no good. They threw Kelsey DNA out of there. They ain't even bring it to the criminal lab, but they took Tory Lanez. Come on, who does that? You're supposed to take every DNA that's on that weapon, everything. Everybody is a suspect in this case. That was in the car and everything. Let's get to his lawyers and everything that's talking about this situation. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Miss Harris had where she stated She had the gun. She fired it 3 times. Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly.
Y'all remember Sean Kelly, right? Remember the guy that was in court? Now, y'all just heard that. They went and grabbed the weapon away from Kelsey when she shot the fire off the weapon. Man, when she made him shot, bam, bam. She damn near tried to take her own friend life out. Didn't I tell y'all from my last video there was a narrative saying that when Megan drink, she's an angry drunk, she blacked out and all this. Her ex-boyfriend came on the internet. Man, you could go do y'all research. This man, listen, there's interviews of her ex-boyfriend speaking about this, how he used to be in the physical altercations with her because of her drinking. Come on, let's continue though. Then I tell y'all that boy innocent. That man feel bad because that man got poked up and that money dried up. They can't get this man no money to continue giving money to him to be quiet. And his conscience is killing him because he know Tory Lanez ain't do that shit. And Tory Lanez damn near lost his life over this. Come on, man. You can't make this up, yo. Let's continue.
Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified, he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense?
Bingo. Need I say more? What are we talking about? I sit back and I wait on this. I told y'all they tricked my boy out of his career, man. Sometimes there's a thing called when you got to climb them ladders. Yeah, you got to sacrifice certain things close to you to make sure you can get up there. So what she did was, y'all got to remember, her and Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez allegedly was dating. They was all on the internet taking pictures, FaceTiming on each other on the internet, all that shit. There's videos and everything of them doing that. Pictures of them at the war. Come on, they was dating. A little kumbaya was going on. They was doing a whole play on this nigga, man. Because like I said, America loves sad stories, man. People love sad stories. So when a sad story like that happened to Megan, what happened? Megan's career went up a little bit. Next thing you know, she was dropping a single. She on Mad in these early morning shows. She's popping up on commercials. She's here, she's there. And I'm lying. I sit back and wait. We haven't seen her no more in those damn commercials. But when that situation first happened, once that shit happened, he got convicted, her career went up a little bit. She started having mad features and shit like that. People on her album. Am I lying here? Am I lying here? Pardon me, under the weather over here. Am I lying though? Come on. So that tells you right there that was a whole play. Sometimes you got to sacrifice certain things to be where you got to be at. And they thought that sacrificing Tory Lanez, allegedly, and lying and making up a whole play was going to boost her career where she was going to be at. And it didn't happen. She's not Glorilla. She's not even a lotto. Come on, man. So that shit just backfired on them because they knew they did Megan Thee Stallion a favor. Them people that's in the back end with her, them people that's holding her down, Roc Nation, whoever else, they did her a favor for not letting Kelsey go to jail. You think they're gonna do that favor again? Now this trap probably gonna reopen again. Because they got to reopen this trap. They got to send Kelsey. Pardon me, damn, got hiccup. They got to send Kelsey They got to send Kelsey to court. They got to reopen the trial now. They got to take her DNA. They got to do all that because why her DNA didn't show up at the criminal lab? But the only one they took was on Mr. Peterson over here on Tory Lanez. Come on, that don't make no sense. That don't show y'all was a whole play going on. They tricked him out of his own career. Remember, he was beefing with Rock Nation because they wanted to sign him also. He was going independent on Rock Nation, a couple other labels the other label he was under on before he went independent. But then Rock Nation wanted a part of him, but he pushed himself where he's like, nah, I'm good. Pandemic hit, this nigga went crazy, going independent, doing a little music on his little live and all that shit. Y'all remember what was going on. Tory Lanez is a very talented brother, man. He knew what he was doing. And sometimes they got to shut that little talented brother down sometimes because they speak too much. And that's what they did. But what they did, they tried to kill two birds in one. Shut him down and have Meg close to him and have an incident like this so it could boost Meg's career up. But it didn't happen. They didn't kill two birds in one. It backfired on them. So they wanted to shut him down, and they supposed to have boost Megan Thee Stallion career up. You can't make this up, man. Let's continue, though.
Never in a million years could you have told me that this would happen. This is deliverance. Let me explain to you. You're going to watch the clip. Let me explain to you what this brother is talking about.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Miss Harris had where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody.
This is not Quan. This is a security guard / driver hired by Kelsey during Tory Lanez trial. And the driver, Bradley James, apparently has gone to Tory's new lawyers and said, I overheard Kelsey talking about what really happened. Not that shit she was saying on the stand.
Let's continue.
Really happened. Not that shit she was saying on the stand. What really happened. And I'm coming to tell you this because I don't want to see an innocent man in prison. I don't think anybody wants to see an innocent man in prison. I think that the California courts would see an affidavit from Bradley James and rule that this is new evidence. This is not Quan. You had a chance to put Quan on. You made the strategic decision to not put Quan on even though he was available. This is a whole new witness talking about something that happened after the incident, that happened during the trial, where he overheard Kelsey essentially admit to committing the crime. You got to reopen that case. If you're a prosecutor, you better go talk to Mr. James and decide whether or not, based on his testimony, you want to try Kelsey. If you're a prosecutor and you haven't spoken to Bradley James within the next 24 hours, you should be ashamed of yourself.
The dude know what happened. Y'all remember Sean Kelly, right? Y'all remember Sean Kelly? Now, Sean Kelly, when y'all heard the press conference and the dude brought Sean Kelly up, Sean Kelly was there. I think he was the bodyguard also. He was another bodyguard, whatever that was. I think that was Tory Lanez bodyguard, whatever. Either one, it don't even matter. The nigga was there. The day of the trial, when he went to court, he switched his whole statement. And I'm gonna refresh y'all mind now, because now that's right there when I just showed y'all. That's today. That's breaking news for today. But we're gonna go back down memory lane because Tory Lanez's father been telling us this. He went in front of the courthouse and went crazy. Was saying that the witness that we had, Sean Kelly, plus the DNA that they even had on my son, but the witness that we had, he went upstairs with the prosecutor and all these other people and Rock Nation lawyers, Megan Thee Stallion lawyers, whatever, and he came back down. He acted like he didn't know us, and he switched the whole goddamn story. Nah, Smoke, I don't remember. Oh, y'all don't remember? Let me remind y'all right quick. I'm telling y'all, man. A lot of people was overlooking the situation. A lot of people thought Tory Lanez was bugged out that night and he popped her, and then he didn't, man. He didn't know what happened that night. Remember, I always tell y'all, man. Now we seen with this Diddy trial going on, right? You see what's going on with the Diddy party. You see what's going on with the witness saying, "Yeah, we blacked out. We don't even know what happened the next day." And this, y'all done heard them rumors and them narratives and all that, right? How they blacked out, drinking or taking whatever, allegedly whatever drug they taking, partying. I'm telling y'all, this pills allegedly drugs, and we know them shits. They black you out. You won't even know what the hell happened the next day. But then people are gonna bring up the phone conversation with Tory Lanez had with Kelsey when he was locked up. Because I know somebody's going to bring that up in the comment. Nah, remember when Tory confessed on the phone conversation when he was locked up on the collect call? That nigga didn't know what the hell happened. They was partying with one of the Jenner girls, with the Kardashian little all sister and shit. Come on, we know what type of time they be on up there. I don't have to break it down like the way y'all want me to break it down. Let me repeat myself. We know what type of time they be on up in them hills. You want to remember what happened the next day. If y'all think this Diddy shit is bugged out, what make you think them other shit that be going on that we don't know about is really bugged out? Similar situation like Tory Lanez. They was partying, drinking, whatever. Remember, they was partying up in the hills at the Jenner house party, multi-million-dollar house. Pool party, they was all in the pool, all this and that. Kelsey, him, and Chris, whatever, one of the Jenner girls, whatever, on Kim Kardashian, on sister, whatever, they was all in the pool. Next thing you know, a couple hours later, this situation happens. Who's cool with Kim Kardashian little sister? Megan Thee Stallion. It wasn't Kelsey, that was Megan. You see the picture with Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion with Kim Kardashian's sister, they all chilling before that incident ever happened. Come on now. Like I'm gonna repeat myself. Let me pedal back and let this marinate. We all know what be happening up in them hills, man. That's Hollywood. That's LA, baby. We know what type of party they be on. You think the Diddy shit is bugged out? They do that shit every day up there, chaps. Allegedly. Let's go back memory lane to Tory Lanez father. Ben tried to tell us about the dude, Sean Kelly, whatever, and what Rock Nation actually did. Made him change his whole testimony. Come on, man.
Here in this Los Angeles County and witness the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Ta and Alex Butt.
They met on Saturday before. They met
with our witness. And then the man came back, and I sat in the hallway while he sat with Jody Little, the prosecutor's investigator, who acted so dumb, an intelligent woman who did not want, listen, I've seen so much evidence buried in this, and I know exactly what the public out here will say. Don't talk.
Need I say more again? Y'all just heard the new press conference when the guy came out and said Sean Kelly. Tory Lanez's father, Ben, told us about Sean Kelly. When he came back downstairs, allegedly, he switched his whole testimony, act like he ain't no Tory Lanez's father and nobody in the hallway. He was upstairs with who he say he was upstairs with? Exactly. Come on, man. Come on. That's what I said, yo. And then next thing you know, this kid get hit up 14 times in prison because of new evidence gonna come out. That's possibility that could get him home. Now they gotta indict Kelsey. They gotta bring her ass to court, and now they gotta take her DNA and all this and that. Because why her DNA didn't go to the lab in the first place? Because they did Megan Thee Stallion a favor. And they thought by sending Tory Lanez to jail was going to boost Megan Thee Stallion's career all the way up. Because like I said, America loves sad stories, man. We love stories. And when you hear a lady get say, oh my God, she got shot, oh my God. You know, it's woman power now. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, ladies. Nothing wrong with that. But you got to get the facts straight first. Before y'all start saying, oh, there's this woman powered and I mean this woman for us and all. I mean, we're gonna send them to jail. Get the facts first, because sometimes these ladies play tricks on, and they be tricking these dudes out of their careers, man. Let me repeat myself. Let me pedal back. Before everybody, all these ladies gathered up like they did against Tory Lanez in the beginning, look at the foolery that Megan Thee Stallion friend Kelsey and all them did with this case. They didn't tell the truth. They sent an innocent man to jail that almost lost his life recently, got stabbed 14 times. The kid is talented, was making good music, and y'all sent him to prison. And I know all the ladies that was on Megan Thee Stallion's side, they feel salty as hell right now, and I know for a fact they do. Y'all should be damn shit. Y'all should be wrong, man. Y'all wrong right now. I'm being honest. Because you got to get the facts first, man. Y'all just can't run off with the stories. These people be tricking people out of their careers, out of the streets. They do all that. And they thought, once again, they thought her career was going to go up by doing that. And it did. Because God don't like ugly. I'm telling y'all. But now remember this. It was 4 people. It was different DNAs all on that shit and all that. This is years ago.
Up on what happened with the DNA experts. So both of the DNA experts said pretty much the exact same thing with very minute differences. Here's the basics, and then I'll tell you what I think. So they both said that the magazine was tested, and there were 4 DNA profiles on the magazine, and you can tell that none of those are Tory's. So most likely Tory never touched this magazine. On the gun, they both said the same thing, that there's 4 profiles on the gun, but it's inconclusive. You can't tell if the DNA is Tory's or somebody else's. Now, both experts agreed that you would expect to see Tory's DNA on the gun if he had shot it 5 times. The defense experts seem to go further and say, look, if he shot that gun 5 times and then they tested it, you would conclusively see that he's on it. You don't see that here, suggesting strong DNA evidence in Tory's favor. Now, then the prosecution went to try to discredit the defense expert. He's like, aren't you getting paid by the defense? Don't you always work for defendants? He's like, yeah, the LAPD has their crime prosecutor, and then defendants hire private companies like mine to do the forensics. It's like, oh, okay, well, how much are you getting paid? The guy's like $250 an hour.
Let's continue. I want y'all to notice how that courtroom was acting. This is the dude, Lawyer for Workers. This is the guy that I just played recently. He was there when the Tory Lanez situation was going on. He was in the courtroom. He's breaking down how the prosecutor was acting, or how all these people was acting. It was acting real crazy in there, man. They was questioning niggas how much they get paid. Like, shit ain't got nothing to do with the case stuff. Let's continue.
Paid your total, guys, like $6,000. It's like, oh, well, it was really kind of just like, look, there's experts, man. This guy's been doing it forever. He's like, are you accredited? And he's like, no, I didn't apply for accreditation. I'm certified by the same people who do accreditation. It's like, well, what does that mean? He's like, well, twice a year, our lab people all get tested. They send them blind samples. They have to do the analysis, send it back, and then we get the results. He's like, oh, okay, well, what are the results? He's like, well, we never got anything wrong. And the guy's like, how do we know that? He's like, I'm telling you. It's like, how do we know you're not lying? He's like, well, you can check. I'll show you the records. And then he just kept going on and on. Look, at the end of the day, the DNA evidence came out strongly, I think, in favor of Tory. We'll see where the rest of the trial takes us. There was one other part, the big part, which is that they never gave the crime lab Kelsey's DNA. And so on defense, the defense brought out this point that, hey, if you ever get a case file and there's 2 people with GSR, wouldn't you expect to get 2 people's DNA? And the guy's like, yeah, that would make sense. If there's 2 people who've tested positive for the GSR and we're testing one's DNA, we ought to test both DNA. Duh.
Exactly. That was years ago. This is crazy. They had them gun drop. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Do me that favor. They had different DNA on that weapon, and the only one they took to the lab was on Tory Lanez. Because he's a star, he's a celebrity, this, that, and the third. Come on, man. Come on, man. They railroaded them. They did them dirty, man. They did them dirty. And that shit got a lot to do with a lot. That shit ain't just got to do with that situation. I feel, in my opinion, allegedly, that shit was planned from the beginning. Get close to Tory. He's one of the hottest artists at that time. I gotta remember, this nigga was buzzing. We ain't talking about now. We talking about before the pandemic and right at the pandemic when he was still dropping music, streaming, and all that shit. This nigga was making music. He was a genius. You know what? He was a talented kid, bro. So you can't take that away from him. So what they do, they connect Megan with him. This is how they did with Meek Mill and Nicki Minaj. They connect these rappers together sometimes to boost they start them up. To give them that credibility, to give them that extra fan base. That's what they did with Megan Thee Stallion to connect her with Tory Lanez. That's why we were seeing Tory Lanez and Megan partying all over the place before the incident happened. Then there was a rumor they were saying they was together, this and that. But, you know, Tory and Meg, they kept laughing about it. But it really was kumbaya. Come on. So what that do then? Now, this is the picture I'm trying to paint before I get out of here. When you put 2 celebs together, one trying to get her career up, that's Megan Thee Stallion. Tory Lanez already got his own little career going on. Canada, America, all over the world. Everybody know who the hell Tory Lanez is. He was talented. I mean, he was doing his thing. I can't take that shit away from him. You put that together. A tragedy like this happened. Woman gets shot in the foot by her boyfriend or so-called dude she was dating. Next thing you know, he goes to jail. He's a famous person. We're not talking about an upcoming rapper. We're talking about a rapper that's actually already in the game, that got a crazy fan base. What you think that's going to happen? Their career is going to go up, obviously, right? The female, right? But see, when people start looking at the story, start looking at the, hold up, this don't look right. Hold up, this shit don't even sound right. That's what question the whole thing. Because the whole story is already spooky from the beginning. Where the camera at? Where the footage at? They was up in the hills. This footage all up in the hills. Ring cameras, everything. And that's why I think that his lawyers got right now that's going to represent and try to reopen this trap, open this case again. They're going to bring the DNA back. We're on Kelsey. They're going to bring home some footage. I think they got footage. That's going to be the nail in the coffin. I think somewhere they got it. They got a ring camera footage of that whole incident, bro. I'm telling y'all. But why they ain't get in the beginning, though, Smoke? This is some of the people that don't understand. You know why they didn't get in the beginning? Because when you got a big firm like that, like Roc Nation, and got some crazy lawyers representing her, and favor for a favor type shit, allegedly, and she comes off on this, that's what happens. Who's we to say that they wasn't paying the driver of Kelsey? That's why he's tired now, because he's done seen this nigga get stabbed up. The money don't went dry, so now he's coming out. The nigga Sean Kelly, whatever. He came out a couple of months ago and said, yo, that story was bogus. They're going to bring him back to court. Come on, man. And they're going to bring whatever evidence they got. Hopefully they got footage. Because this man almost lost his life, and they're going to send a lifer to go poke him up. What that tells you, that shit is all connecting dots right there, allegedly, to the outside world. They don't want that man home. That's what that is. They don't want him home. He going to be bigger than what he was, man. 10 times bigger. And Roc Nation them got to explain themselves. You think they want to explain themselves to the public? even though they might send a little bogus letter out, because they ain't gonna do a press conference. They're gonna send a little letter out, and I mean they're gonna hit the internet, and everybody gonna read the letter, whatever they sent out. That's what's gonna happen, Rock Nation. But you think Rock Nation is gonna continue to represent Megan if this trial reopened? That's my question to y'all before I get out of here. I think Rock Nation is gonna push her out by herself. She's gonna be aiming to the wolves out there. She's gonna have to represent herself on this situation, man. Because I don't think they're gonna represent her on a second go around. I don't think they're gonna do that. I really don't. But free Tory Lanez. They got new evidence. He on his way home. And to be continued. We're going to see what's going to happen. But I've been screaming this. I told y'all the story. I've been telling y'all from day one. He was one of the niggas that was trying to break the fight up. With Megan Thee Stallion and Kelsey was arguing. That's exactly what happened. Tory got in the middle of it, pause. Other dude got in the middle of it. They grabbed the gun from Kelsey. The shit probably went off 1 or 2, 3 times, like they said. And her DNA, all that DNA, it's all on Kelsey, her friend. I'm out of here, gang. Till then, to be continued. Free Tory Lanez, man. It's a sad note. It's a sad story, man. But I'm out of here, man. If they know, they know. It's your boy Smoke News TV, gang. Salute, man. I'm out of here.